Friends, hope that you have already studied absorption by roots part 1 in the study material that I have given. Now today I am continuing with that absorptions of root part 2. In part 2 we will continue our study with this. The first thing that we will discuss is active transport. Here it is, active transport. Definition of active transport: the passage of minerals or ions or of salts from their lower concentration to their higher concentration through a living membrane using energy in the form of ATP. There it is. And when the energy is used, and the direction of movement is just opposite to the diffusion from lower to higher concentration. Here is the demonstration diagram given here. One cell membrane is been enlarged over here. Here the cell membrane mentioned, and look at that how active transport is going against the concentration gradient. Potassium ion going inside the cell against the concentration gradient. Sodium ion coming out of the cell where they are less concentration to high concentration, and calcium ion also moving out of the cell from less concentration to high concentration. So this shows the active transport where usage of energy is given. Next is turgidity and flaccidity. That is, as a result of absorption, what happens to the cell. There it is, turgidity and flaccidity. First definition of turgidity: it is the condition of a living cell when it is in a state of equilibrium and tight and cannot absorb any more water, absorb maximum amount of water, and becomes very much tight and distended. Condition is called turgidity. The cell at that time is said to be fully turgid. The term of the cell that is there, cell is called turgid, and the condition is called turgidity. Now, due to this turgidity, there is also a kind of a pressure developed inside the cell that is called turgor pressure, or simply turgor. This turgor pressure is actually the pressure exerted by the contents, that means the protoplasm of the cell, onto the cell wall due to maximum absorption of water is called turgor pressure, or simply turgor. Next we come on to wall pressure. There it is, wall pressure. Wall pressure is just opposite to the osmotic pressure, where the cell wall of a turgid cell, put a counter pressure onto the cell content, and this is called wall pressure. And this wall pressure and turgor pressure together remain in a balanced condition or equilibrium, in a form of an equilibrium. In some cases, if the turgor pressure exceeds the wall pressure, then the cell may burst. If turgor exceeds the wall pressure, then that sometimes happens in case of overripened fruits. Cell wall bursts and the overripened fruits, sometimes we see the overripened fruits cracking. So that is the result of it, where turgor pressure exceeds the wall pressure. Next one is just opposite to that turgidity, is called flaccidity. There it is, flaccidity. Definition is: flaccidity is the condition of a living cell when the cell content withdraw itself. That means they lose water outside, withdraw itself inside the cell, away from the cell wall, by losing water outside, and the cell loses its tightness that we already studied as turgidity, loses its tightness and becomes soft. And this condition is called flaccidity, and the cell is called flaccid. Now, this turgidity is very important for the plants in its everyday life activity. This is the significance of turgidity, usefulness of the turgidity to the plants. Turgidity is very important for the plants because it shows the following usefulness. First of all, it helps in the transportation of water from one cell to the other. Cell to cell movement of water. First one, water always moves from a turgid cell to a less turgid cell, because in turgid cell the concentration of solution is less compared to the less turgid cell. So according to the law of osmosis, from turgid cell water moves from the less turgid cell, here it is, resulting in a cell to cell movement of water. That we have studied cell to cell osmosis in the previous study material. It is due to that. Second point is maintenance of proper shape. When a cell is turgid and the cells of an organ, leaf, stem, fruit, etc., are turgid, they remain fresh. The stiffness of the cells resulting in the organs of leaf, stem, fruits, etc., all remain fresh, and because they remain fresh, they are becoming very much useful for their activity. So the next one is, third point is, turgidity provides rigidity, hardness. Here it is, third point. Stiffness of the cells gives a very good mechanical strength. It can thrust the surrounding. This is called turgidity provides rigidity. Stiffness of the cell, follow up this writing. Stiffness of the cells give a very good mechanical strength that helps to do certain work, such as root are able to penetrate the soil. Here it is. Roots are able to penetrate the soil, hard soil. It is due to the hardness of the cells of the root, and this is a very useful part of that. In case of some plants, trees, like peepal, banyan, they grow on the walls and sometimes they crack the walls. So this is also due to turgor pressure of the roots. Next point is turgor movements. Due to turgidity, there are certain kinds of movements found in case of certain plants, and some of them are so conspicuous you can easily note them. So due to turgor, certain parts of the plants, the number of movements. First movement that is very common and very regular is stomatal movement. That means stomata and closing and opening can be possible only due to the turgor of the guard cell. Guard cell becomes turgor and they become tight, and due to the uneven thickness, look at that, uneven thickness of the cell walls, the turgor pressure makes the guard cell bend outwardly, and when they bend outwardly, the stomata opens. Whereas on losing turgidity, the guard cell again straightens up, closing the stomata. So opening and closing of stomata is also the very most important activity of turgidity. Next is drooping movements of the leaves. Here it is, number 2, drooping movements of the leaves. Quick folding of the leaves. In case of touch me not, you can observe it is best. If you touch it a little bit, quickly the leaflets are folding up. The touch me not plant, its scientific name is mentioned here. You can read it or not. Mimosa pudica. This plant is amazing. If you touch it, quickly it will fold the leaflets. And it is happening due to loss of water from its pulvinous leaf base. Pulvinous leaf base means the base of at the point of attachment where the leaf stalk is attached with the stem is slightly swollen. This is called pulvinous leaf base, and this pulvinous leaf base store water. When it is touched, the pulvinous leaf base lose water back into the xylem vessel, which draws water from the leaflets and thereby losing the turgor of the leaflets, and hence it is folded. So this is one of the turgor movement. The third movement that is sometimes you will see, leaves of insectivorous plants. Venus flytrap, you might have seen, studied also in lower classes. Venus flytrap, when an insect sits on it, very quickly closes it, capturing the insect inside it. It is also due to change of turgor. Closes the leaf when touched by the insects. It is also due to the change of turgidity. And then fourth one is, sometimes you will see some leaves of plants folded during night and once again open at daytime. These are called slip movements of leaves of certain plants due to turgor. Example given, oxalis. These are the utility of turgor in case of plants. Another utility is, next utility is a very, very important one, is development of root pressure. This root pressure is very important for a plant. Definition goes as it is very important, so I have given it in blue color. Always read that: a continuous inward movement of water by cell to cell osmosis, creating a cumulative pressure by the summation of turgor. Remember that. Turgor pressure presses the next cell, cell becomes turgid, that cell also presses the next one. In this way, together they are forcing in a definite direction, and that as a result into movement of water in a definite direction from the root hair cell up to the xylem vessel. This pressure is called root pressure. You carefully note down this one. The definition of it is given also in your book, but it's slightly changed here, edited. The definition of root pressure, very important. Next is the demonstration of root pressure is given there. Here you look at that. Demonstration of root pressure given, where a potted plant with soft stem is cut in one part over here, and then a tube is connected with it, and then rubber tubing connected with the mercury manometer over there. When the root pressure will push the plants upwards, it will flow to this tube and going into this mercury manometer, and will show us the pressure of the root, how much it is in the graduated manometer. So this experiment shows the measurement of root pressure. Next part is, what is the utility of root pressure? Itself, root pressure is very important. The utility of root pressure has number of things. Number one, help in upward movement of sap, called ascent of sap. Very important. Some of the trees are very tall, even crossing the second storied building or like that. How water reaching to the leaves? It is one of the factor, as is the main thing is ascent of sap. That means the sap of plant rising up to the leaves, so that they can also work with that. Second thing is guttation. Sometimes some plants living in hot and humid climate cannot lose excess amount of water due to hot and humid climate, and they lose excess water in the form of droplets from the margins of the leaves. All the plants do not have that. Only certain plants. Leaves of certain plants is called guttation. Leaves of certain plants, you can say, there are some plants like grass, tomato, then brinjal. Some of the plants do this. Banana, the leaves, edges of the leaves, droplets of water come out in the morning. But the difference with this is, with the dew formation, is the condition of dew formation is due to the environmental coldness. But in case of this, environmental condition is warm and humid, where dew cannot form. So if in warm and humid climate, droplets of water has been visible on the edges of leaves, you can understand that it is due to guttation. Guttation occurs in those plants grow in humid climate like potato, tomato, grass, etc. Example not mentioned here, you mentioned, pick up from your book. The next one is sometimes parts of the plants are broken, and due to that the plant sap is been lost from those parts, broken branch, broken leaf, or any injury that takes place, etc. This is called bleeding. So up to this, let us keep up to that. Next we will continue this one by continuation of this discussion in the next video.